guessing all of you, or at least most of you, do everything by yourself. And by that I mean your meals, your chores, your daily life activities. Well, let me tell you that 29% of the people over 65 years old are in need of long-term care services. These include eating and even using the toilet. Is this how you see yourselves by that age? We are Kinesis Masters, an international cross-country team formed by the Aalto University of Finland and the Pontificia Universidad Católica in Chile. Our team is formed by Arian from Aalto, Magdalena Cruz, and who is speaking, Valentina Rojas. For the past semester, we've been working on our challenge: how to improve mobility in aging population. So let me tell you a little bit about the context of these two countries. First, in Chile, 15.6% of the population is over 65 years old. This figure will increase to almost double for 2050. It's no different in Finland. Today, 20.5% of the population in Finland is over 65 years old. That will increase to 27.3% for 2050. So now that you know a little bit about the challenge and about our context, I'm going to tell you about the process. First, we started with the data collection phase. We needed to know more about our challenge, about the topic, about everything that was related with it. It's important for you to know that we can classify elders in 3 categories according to the World Health Organization. The institutionalized, these are the ones that live in nursing homes or places as such. We have the active. The actives are the ones that, in spite of their age, they still have an active lifestyle, play sports, enjoy good health. And our focus, the ones that live in community. They still live in their neighborhoods, have, let's say, a normal life, and they take care of themselves. Why is this our focus? Because we want to work with prevention. We think that our project can help them today and in the future. For this phase, we did 39 interviews to doctors, nurses, and elders. Also, we took field notes from all the different public spaces they usually frequent. And of course, read lots of secondary information from academic papers, so we could validate the information we gathered from the research. So after all this research, we had to make sense of our data. That's why we got into the analysis phase. First, we coded all of the transcripts from our interviews. What does this mean? We found key concepts that kept repeating themselves in the interviews so we could find patterns and look for common problems that happened to our interviewees. These were different phrases that we're repeating all the time. I'm afraid to go out, I'm afraid of falling, I broke a bone once, I fell in the street, and I have not enough reasons to go out. The list goes on and on. But is this real? We had to validate all of these statements with different information, and what we found was astonishing. 35% of the population over 65 years old fall at least once a year. And 1 out of 40 of them need hospitalization to treat the consequences. And not only this, 31% of the elder population present fear of falling, which is a real and very, very dangerous psychological condition. So we found our window, we found our opportunity. We wanted to create a device that could lower the fear and the risk of falling. So now that we have our opportunity, we focused our research and we kept working. So we made clusters. We grouped the different attributes we found on our interviewees to find patterns and to create personas. Personas or archetypes from the patterns we could detect that can help us get to know our users better. I present you the bold one. She's a lady in her mid-70s, but she doesn't know it. She doesn't use a cane, but she needs it. She may or may not be afraid of falling, she will never tell. She may or may not have fallen in the past, but she has a really, really active life. Then we have the unworried. He has fallen in the past, he might be afraid of falling, but he refuses to use a cane. And also, he has a very, very active life. And of course, we have the warrior. She's a lady who has fallen before. She's very afraid, and that's why she has a cane. And now she trusts her cane more than she trusts herself. Now that we have our archetypes, we can analyze their behavior. We created a journey map of a day in their daily lives. We made a timeline of their different activities during the day, like breakfast, going out for errands, cleaning up the house. And after having all these activities, we classified them in different levels of danger in terms of falling, being the green, the lower level of danger. The red zone, though, this is what we want our focus to be. This is where we think our product could have the most impact. So now there's a lot of ideas, a lot of information, but we have to get to a solution. But there's no solution without listening to our users' requirements. First, it has to be easy to use, has to have low technology, since older generations somehow are not familiar with new technologies, often. Then, it has to be cheap. 90% of the third age population in Chile has an income not greater than 200,000 pesos. But also, it's important to think what has already been made for this issue. We have canes, we have walkers, we have exoskeletons, and many more. All of these help the elders to walk with assistance. They don't have something to rehabilitate themselves. They trust in something that it's outside their bodies. They trust in new devices that they buy. What's different in ours then? The concept. An invisible cane. We want to give safety through a less visually invasive device. Why is this relevant? Well, apart from what I already said, people start trusting their canes, for example, more than they trust themselves. That will never solve any problem. And also, 35.7% of the elderly need assisted walking, but they don't use it because they feel old or helpless. And those who do increase their fear of falling. They need to feel safe, to trust themselves again, but be safe during the process. Why do all of these things happen to them though? There are many affections related to aging. Most of them will lead to mobility impairments. The first three, for example, have different medical treatments, but the last two have not. And they are very related between each other. So this is where we want to put our focus in. Now comes the making. After taking all of these ideas, taking all of this information, we started sketching different ideas of what we could make. And after lots of prototyping and testing and iterating over and over again, we came up with Gait Better. Gait Better is a polyurethane attachable sole that detects dangerous movements and gives to even the stiffest of shoes the proper flexibility. And it also has a silicone vibrating bracelet triggered by the sole. How does it work? It's important to know there are two kinds of dangerous movements of the foot that can lead a person to sprain their ankles and eventually fall. These are inversion and eversion. Also, there are different kinds of feet. The most common ones are the pronated, the neutral, the supinated. All of them with different ranges of motion and of course different parameters of danger. So what Gait Better does is first, the 4 sensors inside the sole will map what kind of foot you have and set stable values of pressure. With these stable values, the dangerous parameters for inversion and eversion will be set. Whenever the sole, when you're walking, reaches any of these parameters for more than 2 seconds, it will send a vibrating signal to the bracelet. What is this for? We want elders to get in touch with their senses, be aware of their tricky steps, and educate their gait. for them to feel safer and more confident and to trust their own faith instead of something else. So these problems will be completely in the past. Hopefully, these phrases we will not hear again. And how should we improve mobility in aging populations? First, by getting better. Thank you.